Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 80 of Did You Bring the Hummus podcast. I'm Kimberly, your host, and I'm super excited to be here with you today. Did You Bring the Hummus is a podcast for all things vegan. Episodes post every Monday on your favorite podcast app. Before we get started, I have one very important question for you. Did you bring the hummus? Do you love the podcast? And would you get a kick out of hearing a shout out from me on a future episode? How about time to connect virtually with me and other listeners, quarterly or monthly? Check out the show notes for the link. If you're a vegan business who would like to sponsor episodes of Did You Bring the Hummus, I'd love to chat. Find my contact details in the show notes. Today, I am joined by Lisa Rimmert of On the Nose. Lisa is a stand-up comedian and writer based in the Seattle area. In 2021, she launched her company, On the Nose LLC, through which she helps to change the world through effective and humane communication. Current and past clients have included Beyond Carnism, Farm Forward, Woodstock Farm Sanctuary, and Volunteers of America. Lisa published her first book, a memoir, in 2022, titled Stay, My Forever Friendship with an Aging Dog. It earned her a prestigious award for Best First Book from the Independent Book Publishers Association. She's currently working on a second dog-related memoir. When she's not writing, Lisa can be found telling jokes to audiences at bars and clubs around Seattle and beyond. A lifelong animal advocate, the topic of animals and their well-being serves as a through line connecting all of Lisa's projects. Lisa and I became fast friends, which I think will be pretty clear as you listen to this episode. The only thing stopping us from getting up to regular shenanigans is the fact that we live on opposite sides of the country. I had the pleasure of reading her book, Stay, after Lisa and I recorded this episode, so I'll share some of my thoughts with you now. Buy the book. If you've ever loved a non-human animal, you'll find parts of yourself in this book. It brought me back to moments with my senior cat, Cookie. That first moment you realize they're a senior, and each moment after. Lisa so beautifully captures her experience and friendship with beloved Dakota. It's a beautiful and poignant tale I feel lucky to have read. Hey, Lisa. Thanks for joining me. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good to be here.
I'm really excited about this conversation. I think we're going to have a good time.
I am too, and I think we're going to go on to become friends after this.
Yeah.
That's my little secret hope.
Mine too. Yay.
Perfect. You know what? When you're in a full adult, you just have to say that to people.
Yes. Yeah.
You can't just wait for that stuff to happen organically.
So now it's been declared, and it is.
It's been seconded, and it's in the minutes and all that.
Yep. So, Lisa, the very first thing we always start with on Did You Bring the Hummus is talking about your vegan journey. Tell me how it all came to be.
It's a winding road. I feel like no answer that I have to any question can ever be straightforward. Like people even be like, oh, where are you from? And then I overthink it in my head. Like, am I from where I feel like is my home? Or do they want to know where I was before I moved to Washington? And those are different answers. So anyway, it's a little bit of a winding story, but I've loved animals my whole life, quote unquote, loved animals.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really think outside of like cats and dogs and maybe horses until like college when I had a friend who went vegetarian. And that did not open my eyes at all. I ridiculed him, like, privately. I don't think I did anything really mean, but I just poked fun at him and didn't consider it at all as an option for myself. Very open-minded as an undergrad. And then I also gave a speech in college, an anti-factory farming speech. Oh. And I remember very clearly, I'm still in touch with this professor, shout out to Duff. I gave my speech and, the class applauds as they, are taught to do. And then I was walking back to my seat and the professor said, just out of curiosity, no right answer or wrong answer, but are you vegetarian? And I was like, no. Like, as if like, what does that have to do with anything?
Right.
So I had all these moments where I could have learned, but none of them really translated into learning. And then weirdly, after college, I had a friend who had a blog, and she wrote about mostly her life and her dogs, but she would throw in veganism stuff every once in a while, just trickle it in. I don't know if it was strategic on her behalf, but it worked. And so she's the one reading her blog, got me thinking about like, oh, actually, I'm saying that I'm an animal lover. And then I'm turning around and being like, here's some money, go kill animals for me. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh, that might be a problem that I need to think about. And so that's what got me to be vegetarian. I was vegetarian for a couple of years before and throughout that time, I was like, I would never go vegan. I'm not crazy, all that stuff. And then I went to an HSUS conference, Taking Action for Animals,
Mhm.
and it was a birthday present to myself because I was like, "Ooh, this will be really fun, and I'll make friends, and I'll like learn about animals." And I went to this presentation where they asked who in the audience is vegetarian, and it was like almost everybody. I was so
Wow.
shocked because I thought dogs and cats and horses.
Mhm.
And and so I was looking around like, okay, everybody else is doing this thing that I thought I was like really cool and special for. That's weird. And then they said, and who is vegan? And it was like half of the audience. And
Mm.
then that really opened me up to be like, okay, this is a common thing apparently, and none of these people are throwing paint on anyone, or they don't look like they're in punk rock bands. So it seems like a thing normal people can do, and so that's what started me on that journey. And my brother went vegetarian for 30 days. So I decided to go vegan for 30 days, and then ended up just learning about it and figuring out what to cook and all that stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say I'm a fast learner? Maybe not. But I got there.
And that's the important thing,
That's
right?
right. Yeah. Yeah. It's where you end
Yeah.
up. It's not the journey. That's what they always say, right? No, it's the opposite.
I think in this case, yeah, it is the end result that might be a little more important than the journey.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
do
I
remember, did you have foods? I don't know if you've talked about this before, but when I first went vegan, I was like, okay, I'm going to be vegan, except. And then I had like three foods that I thought I couldn't live without. And one of
mm,
them that I remember that sticks out just because it's the most basic thing ever is Domino's thin crust cheese pizza. I was like,
okay,
cannot live without this cheese
very
pizza.
specific.
So yeah, so for like a month or two when I first went vegan, I was vegan except for that and a couple other things.
Okay. Yeah, I found when I went vegetarian that I I really missed having tuna, and
Oh,
even
okay.
more than like I had expected. And I would think about it all the time. I didn't eat it though cuz I was like that's not acceptable, even though I was still chowing down on cheese every chance I had, but I was like you can't eat fish anymore. And that was the only fish I ever ate. I was never into fish, but but I remember it was so weird like the first year I was vegetarian, I must have thought about a tuna fish sandwich every other day. Yeah.
That's willpower right there.
Yeah.
Well done.
I finally was just like, "Okay, just, like, let it go. You're never gonna eat that again, like, let it go." And so I did, and then, I learned how to make chickpea salad that kind of tastes like that and has kind of a similar texture, so, and now I don't even crave that, like, I'll still make it sometimes, but it's not something where I'm like, "Oh, thank God I found this replacement." Yeah, it just
Yeah.
changes, like, you stop thinking about that stuff as food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Your perspective changes and your tastes change.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you're saying, like, would you say I'm a fast learner? No, like, but it's so important, these little moments that plant those seeds, because I think that's what helps you stick to it. Like
Yeah,
you're
I think
learning
so.
and internalizing without even realizing it. And then one day
Yeah.
you're like, oh, holy shit. What have I been doing this whole time? I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
like
this
maybe
now.
maybe you're considering it subconsciously,
Yeah.
and you don't
Mhm.
realize you're mulling it over, but your brain is working in there.
Yeah, yeah. That's why so often I don't worry, like, if somebody's like, "Oh, why do you talk about with people who aren't vegan yet, and you're not, like, pushing them to just do it?" I'm like, "Oh, because first of all, it's not how humans work, and, but also because I know that what I'm doing and the conversations I'm having, they matter. At some
Yeah.
point, that person is gonna have a thought, And even if they don't ever connect it back to, "Oh, that lady on the podcast said this thing," but they have a thought or they hear someone else say something, and then because a seed had already been planted, they're like, "Oh, I've gotta make a change."
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially, like, I'm someone who I really need it to feel like it's my idea.
Mhm.
So if somebody else came to me, I'm sure they did many times come to me and be like, "You should consider this." I'd be
Mhm.
like, "Who are you to tell me that?" You know?
Yeah.
Now I have a wall up. But if it's my idea that I just happen to read in your blog,
Mhm. Exactly.
then it's gonna stick a little harder. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was still eating, like, cheese and eggs, and I, like, ordered, like, an omelet or something when I was out with a friend, and I'm just eating it, and she's like, "Oh, I can't believe you're still eating eggs." And I was like, "Oh, are you, like, upset that I ordered this?" And she's like, "No, but the chickens are." And even though I had always felt like you, like, I love animals, and I don't want animals to suffer, and I want, like, even though I knew all of that, when she said that, I was like, "The fuck? No, okay." And it just made me angry, and it did put up a wall. So I was already vegetarian, I'd gone vegetarian for ethical reasons, but I hadn't connected to eggs and cheese yet. But when she said that to me, like, that would work for some people. There are some people who they would hear it like that, and they'd go, "Oh my god, you're right, and
Yeah.
I'm never gonna this is the last omelet I'm ever eating." But for someone like me who doesn't respond to being told off in order to make a change,
So
like,
weird.
I was like, no," and, I mean, it's not her fault, but I probably kept that wall up for a lot longer than maybe I would have if maybe she'd taken a different approach.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's so hard though. It's so hard being a human because,
Yeah, it
like, on
is.
the one hand, especially when you're a newer vegan and you're like, we tend to have this little uh predictable trajectory of like angry for the first couple of years and
Mhm.
really like trying to get everybody to do what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Um, it's so hard because you're like, oh, I figured out a way to not be a part of this thing that I don't think we should be a part of. I
Mhm.
need you to do that too right now because I learned it already. So like catch up with me.
Yep.
But then you kind of have to like allow people to go on that journey for themselves and they might be at a different place and it might take
Mhm.
longer and whatever. And so it's really hard to balance your
Yes.
desire to teach everybody
Mhm.
and, approach it kindly.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was 20 when I went vegetarian, and so I also had that, like, late teens, early 20s smugness about myself, like, "You
Oh,
don't have."
I have that at 40.
Yeah, I still do too. Um, but in a different way, I guess, because back then, if someone I remember I was out, like, on a date, and we were at, like, a fair, and there was a couple of vegetarian options. It was, like, a Greek fair, so there's, like, spanakopita, so I was like, "Oh, I'll have that." And you're, like, in a line getting food, and the people serving the food were so nice. This lady was just like, "Oh, would you like this chicken," whatever the chicken dish was, and I was like, "No, I don't eat anything with a face," and, like, walked away with my head so high, and like, I told her. And now I think back, and I'm like, "Oh my god, why
I
would you say
know.
that to a stranger? Like, she
Yeah.
doesn't know."
I have so many examples of that and some of them are l I was older than you were, so I should have known better even more, and some of them are accessible through looking back in my email inbox and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and I just would really rather forget that I ever said mean
Yeah.
things to people or judgmental things, and I'm just like, "What
Mhm.
possessed you?" Like,
Yeah.
or did you really think this would help and, like, open that person's heart?
Yeah.
Come on.
Right?
But, yeah, sometimes we have to be jerks for a little while before we learn a
Yeah.
better way.
Yeah. I think so, because 'cause you're right, like you mentioned, there's so much anger and stuff. I think when you finally learn what's really happening, it, like, blows your mind in the worst possible way. And you can't even fathom that humans are capable of what humans are capable of. And then to also think from the perspective of the animals who suffer in the system. And then you go, "Oh my god, I'm this many years old and I've been eating this way for this many years, and how have I've been contributing to this my whole life." And it hurts, and it can really make you super angry when other people who haven't learned what you learned seem like, "Oh, what are you talking about? What's the big deal?" Or, like, super excited about eating animals, or they think you're stupid for what you're doing, and it's so hard. Yeah.
Yeah. It's especially hard for me, and I still get surprised. I work with some like vegan and animal advocacy groups, and so I'm learning what they're like. I'll help them with content. So I'm learning about their reports and stuff like that. And
Mm.
I still get shocked. Like, I've been recently learning about how certifications and labels mean absolutely nothing. And it's like
Oh.
they can just be like humanely raised, whatever, and it doesn't mean anything. Like, it's literally just a lie.
Mm,
Or it's not a lie, but the meaning is meaningless. It's
right.
just like, oh, they have an extra inch or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I can't believe this is the case, and how is this legal, and how are we participating in this? And
Mhm.
yeah, it's kind of an ongoing thing. I
Yeah.
try not to get angry at people, although I do sometimes. I try not to let it out.
Mhm.
It happens in my brain now, and I just kind of like keep it in there, but or complain to someone else who's safe to complain to. But yeah, especially like I live in the Seattle area, and in Seattle, in the city especially, it tends to be kind of a liberal place, and
Mhm.
but it's like, except for animals.
Yeah.
Like, we don't care about them, and we think vegans are self-righteous a-holes,
Oh,
and
no.
I'm just like, "But you got, like, a 99%. Can you just, you know,
Yeah.
on your progressive test, can you just add this in? Like, if this
Right.
is part of it."
Just move a little bit more so that
Yeah.
that's frustrating. So is it
Mhm.
like, are there not great vegan options and stuff in the
Oh,
city?
no, there are. Yeah,
Oh,
there are, but
okay.
I'm often, like, at comedy shows and things like that with just a general audience.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's good vegan food there.
Good. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, so you're often at comedy shows because you're a comedian.
Yes.
Does your veganism or animal rights or anything ever come into the comedy that you do?
Sometimes. Not a lot, not as much as I would like. I've actually been trying to figure this out. There's something about writing jokes, at least for me, where if I have a strong feeling about it, that's like, if it's a topic that I don't think is funny,
Mhm.
it's really hard. Like, a topic that doesn't inspire laughter, like animal cruelty and stuff. It's not funny when I really think about it. I'm
Right.
I'm upset and I'm passionate about it, and I
Mhm.
have those kinds of feelings, and it's really hard to translate those into a joke. So
Yeah.
sometimes I really want to talk about it more, but I don't know how.
Mhm.
I'm sure that'll come with experience. So for now, I just sometimes I'll just like throw it in, like I'll have a joke about being vegan or something, um, and I'll just kind of start out self-deprecating, and
Mhm.
I know you guys don't like me for this, but I am vegan. I'm sorry for it, but like, stick with me. um but I do have a couple jokes that are like very, I don't know, like surface level. You wouldn't know they're really like animal rights jokes,
Mhm.
but underneath is a message of, like, I have an anti-zoo joke that I tell, and
Okay.
so I kind of try to work it in where I can. I used to do comedy a long time ago, maybe 10 or 11 years ago, in the Midwest, in like rural
Mm.
areas, like biker bars and stuff in Missouri. And I know
Wow.
me, totally not a biker person. Um, but you go where the money is. So I would do jokes. I would do more then,
Mhm.
because I would be able to say things like, "Have you heard of veganism. Like, I was like kind
Right.
of teaching people about it, and
Yeah.
that's the way that lends itself more to joking,
Mm-hmm.
rather than talking about like, hey, did you know animals
Yeah.
are
Right.
suffering everywhere? Um, but yeah, but now I can't. Now everybody knows what veganism is, which is
Mm-hmm.
great. But
Yeah.
it means those jokes are retired.
Well, they had their moment.
Yeah, okay. They fulfilled their purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I can't imagine like trying to make jokes about it either. Because you're right, it isn't funny. And
Yeah, it gets me
like,
jazzed up in the wrong way, in like not a funny way right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
I really wanna talk to people about I guess I do a little bit. I'll ask people if they're into animal rescue, and, I'll be like, "I'm a dog person, are there any other dog people?" And always there are,
Mm,
and so then I'll say, "Are we animal rescue people? Like, how do we feel about that?" And then you'll
yeah.
get some woos, and then I'll say, "Oh, okay, some of you are good people, the rest of you have doodles." And then, it's kinda like a little pokey fun way where it's not
Yeah.
too harsh, and they can laugh about it because it's relatable. They do have doodles, and
Hmm.
they're like, "Ha ha ha! How'd you know?" So I do a little bit of stuff like that, but I would love to work in more material about just like why to rescue animals and why to adopt instead of buying, and stop
Yeah.
making these. We have enough for now.
Right.
And but yeah, it's a thing where when I think about it, it's still a little bit raw.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know how to not just sound really angry when I talk about this.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So speaking of dogs, you are just leading me with these segues. I love it.
Oh, look at
Uh,
me go. Well, you did send me a tight script.
yep, totally my MO.
At
Like
4:27, we segue to dogs.
exactly. Yeah, so speaking of dogs, I see the cover, the books behind you. You wrote a book about your senior dog. Tell me about
I
your book.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. I feel funny that you can see that because I just ordered a bunch, like in order to sell them in person, I have to order them. And I was just like, whatever, I'll just order a bunch and then I'll be set for quite a while. And when I stacked them behind me on my shelf, I thought, oh, did I overdo it? Can I sell all these? That is the big question.
Yes, you can.
How long will it take is the real question. Yeah, so I wrote a book. It published in 2022. It's called Stay: My Forever Friendship with an Aging Dog, which is kind of like a little cheeky title.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, it's a memoir, so true story about my experience living with, caring for, being in super denial about the aging of my senior dog. And so it's a little sad, a little jokey, a little of all the emotions. And
Mhm.
yeah, and I'm about 50,000 words into book number 2, but still I feel 1,000 years away from finishing. So hopefully book 1 will continue to sell in the meantime.
Yeah. Do you have anything to share about book 2? Like, are you able to tell me what it's about or like a general idea of what you're working on? Or
Yeah, I
no?
think so. I don't feel secretive about it. I just feel like even though I'm so far into it, it's probably going to be around 80,000 words, judging by the last book. But even 50,000 words into it, I'm like, I don't really know if I understand this story yet.
Mm.
So I'll tell you this with the understanding that it could completely change. How about
Sure.
that? So the first book is it's not meant to be like a sequel at all, but it sort of
Mm.
works that way because um, the first book is about caring for my senior dog, and then the second book I think is going to be about adopting my second dog
Mm.
and her being completely wrong for us and dealing with that, like, oh no, this is not at all what we were going for.
Oh.
What do we do here? So, and spoiler alert, she's still around and she's perfect. So
Yeah.
it's a lot. She was very fearful, anxious,
Hmm.
smaller than we wanted. I joke that we wanted a dog who was big, brave, and brown, and we got brown. So so just but she's taught me so much about body language and,
Mhm.
vulnerability in all kinds of ways, and how like being brave is being soft.
Yeah.
And so I'm writing about all that, all
Oh,
my lessons learned.
that's wonderful. I can't wait to read it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
to send you a copy of book one. I'll write that
Yeah,
down so I don't
please. I
forget.
would love that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got to get rid of this stash.
So I grew up with dogs. We always were living with dogs. And now I'm a cat person.
Oh, okay. You're a
Yeah.
traitor. So
Yes.
what caused it? Like, was it happenstance, or did you just
Yeah. So I was living with a guy I was dating at the time, and my rabbit had passed away. And it was like, I know. Um and it was like 2 months after she was gone, and it kind of was like, it's so quiet here. Like maybe we should go to PetSmart and see who's there to be adopted. And we did. And we are like looking at all of the cats because we also living in an apartment. The landlord was like, no dogs, dogs bark.
okay,
Um,
true.
so we're
True
looking at,
statement.
yeah, we're looking at cats. And this one cat, she's so small. She was like a Maine Coon mix. And she was really small for like Maine Coons are usually really big. And she was so tiny. And she was kind of clumsy. And I just instantly felt like, this is me in cat form. And
Perfect.
it felt like we knew each other forever the minute I looked into her eyes. And so I was like, this is my person now. I need to bring her home with me. And so we did. And the guy and I broke up like 6, 8 months later, and she came with me, and she was my best friend until I lost her in 2020. Yeah.
Oh.
And we'd been through so much, and she just like, I'd never lived with a cat before, and we were just so bonded. And I was just like, I love her like more than anything. Like she's been gone for in September it'll be 4 years, and she's still the wallpaper on my cell phone. And some people might think like, "Whoa, Kimberly, you live with 4 other cats now. Like maybe it's time to let one of them become the wallpaper, or all 4 of them in a collage maybe." And I just I'm not ready to do it. But I mean, I love the 4 cats that live here now, and they just showed up in our backyard. We live
Oh,
in
wow.
kind of we live in Northwest New Jersey, and there's like a lot of farms around here. So there's barn cats, but then there are lots of people who think my cat should be able to be outside. And
Mm,
then they don't, neuter or spay them, and then they make more cats and that whole thing.
yeah.
So there are always cats that no one claims around here. And we've like, TNR'd and trapped and found homes for some, but I don't know, the 4 who live here now, they just showed up, and it was kinda like, "All right, you guys are here. You're ours now." So, we've got these 4 cats, and it's, 2 of them love each other so, so much, and then the other 2, not so much. It's like,
You have to separate them?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
because our
that
2
stinks.
girls, they don't get along at all, and
Yeah.
then the last one who came in, Teddy. He is the biggest of the 4. He's probably almost like 18 pounds, and he's just a big cat. He's not even fat. He's just a giant cat. And the 2 girls don't like him. They constantly are trying to fight with him. So it's like
Huh.
him and the other boy, Gus, are like sort of buddies sometimes. And it feels kind of when you were saying about, the dog that you live with now, that at first it was like she was all wrong for us. We have moments where it feels like Teddy like showed up, and maybe it wasn't the best thing for us to bring him in, but we were certain he'd been dumped. He has some skin issues and stuff that are really difficult to manage. And we were just, I don't know, it just felt like even though we have to kind of navigate this difficult cat relationship that's going on, it still feels like of course he should be here, and of course we're his parents now, and we're going to take care of them all. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, that's that's interesting. I have a cat. That's weird. I live with a cat. I always say I have, and then I go, what? I
Yeah.
have a couch. I live with a dog. But I also live with a cat, and he was the foster fail. I'm not a cat person. I always say we're dog people who also have a cat. And we love him very much, but we're just like, we're just, I don't know, we're too selfish maybe. Or I'll speak for myself. I shouldn't drag my husband into this. But I like the excitement in my dog shows about me being around. But my cat, he's really affectionate, which everybody goes, oh my God, I wish mine was. And I go, hold on, let me finish. He's very affectionate on his own terms, obviously, because he's a cat.
Yeah.
And he wants to snuggle when I go to bed and when I wake up. And
Oh.
he doesn't sleep with us. He's like, once we're done snuggling, he's out of there. But if I go to bed later than my husband, which I often do, then he wakes my husband up because my husband's a very light sleeper.
Mm.
What is it about it? Is it the jingling collar? Because we could take that off, or like, what is it? And he's like, no, it's the purring. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, were the ocean waves bothering you too? And the whale noises? Like, these are things people fall asleep to. But I've been trying to figure out, like, what do we do about this? And one of the ideas was like, maybe we get a second cat, and then like we lock them both out of the bedroom, and then we don't have to feel bad because he still has someone to snuggle with.
Yeah.
but then the problem is, like, what if they don't get along? Then we've
Yeah.
just got two problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really interesting, cats, because if they don't get along, there's a good chance they'll never get along.
Yeah.
Like there's also a good chance that they might, and then they end up like snuggled in the bed together or something, super adorable. But yeah, all the things like you have to introduce them carefully, and sometimes even when you do that, they still don't
Yeah.
like each
They're
other.
still like, no thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really interesting. Even like,
Mhm.
I take my dog to the dog park, and she's pretty selective about who she wants. She's interested in everybody, but she doesn't like all play style. She doesn't like most play styles.
Mhm.
So if anybody's jumping on her or anything, she's just like, no, thank you. But
Mhm.
it's to watch her, go about meeting other dogs. You can kind of tell it's like sometimes very instant. Like,
Mhm.
no, I don't like this one. I just want to
Yeah.
smell your butt for 1 second, and then I want to go away from you forever.
Yeah.
And then other dogs, she's kind of like, oh, maybe we could be friends. And I don't know what's
Mhm.
going on with smells and pheromones and stuff, but it's so fascinating to watch.
It is. Yeah. And I think too, like, I love this conversation we're having because I see so many people who claim they're like they love their pets, and then I see them, their cat jumps up on the counter and they pick the cat up and like toss the cat onto the floor because they're like, oh well, like cats jump and they can land and like she's not gonna hurt herself. Yeah, but why would you toss your cat from the you know? And like the two of us are sitting there thinking we're watching our respective animal friends going like, "Oh, look at this relationship you're building. This is so
Uh,
interesting." Like, what are the
yeah.
thoughts going through your head right now?
Yeah. I even like, I've been learning. So with my first dog, Dakota, she was the best first dog. I had dogs growing up, but they were not really mine.
Mhm,
And she was my first dog as an adult, and the first dog who was like mine,
mhm.
my girl.
Yeah.
And she was the perfect first dog because she wasn't easy in every way. She was very hyper, like almost to the end. But people would be like, "How old's your puppy who's jumping up?" And I'd be like, 10. But she was also just she had the best personality. She was adventurous and outgoing and easygoing and like
Mhm.
ready for anything. And so we would take her to the park, and we didn't have to watch her. Like, we would, but
Yeah.
because it's fun, we wouldn't be like watching with concern or anything.
Mhm.
And now with Phoenix, who lives with me now, she's completely different. Like, I couldn't take her to the park for a long time because she was like, no, 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 not going in there. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, okay, what do we do about this? This is new to me. And we've done a ton of training and stuff with her, but now we go to this park by our house, and I watch her like a hawk, and I'm watching other people's dogs too.
Mhm.
And I used to think I was a dog person, And now I'm like, "Oh, I don't even fit in here." Because I'm just, like, wondering people are not even with their dogs, like, their dogs are on
Yeah.
the other side of the park, and they're just chatting with people,
My gosh.
and their dogs are, like, scared, and there's, like, 4 dogs coming over to smell them, and you can tell that they don't want it, which is,
Yeah.
like, gonna maybe lead to a bad situation
Mhm.
if your dog feels trapped and, scared
Mhm.
among 4 other dogs, and so I'm always looking at that. If my dog seems scared, I'm like, "Okay, let's go over here, away
Mhm.
from these dogs." I'm just, like, on it,
Yeah.
and I just feel so kinda left out, like, it's similar to how I feel as a vegan is, like, I can't unsee this, like,
Mhm.
I can't forget what body language means the
Yeah.
same way that I can't forget what's happening to animals, and so it's like there's a little bit of a distance between me and other, like, so-called dog people,
Mhm.
and I'm sure, I don't wanna sound like I'm, at the top of the learning ladder or anything like that. I'm sure there are tons of people that are way above me that know a lot more than I do and are, have the same issue with me and other people like me. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't fit in anywhere.
Yeah. I get that too. I feel that way a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. At
Yeah.
the same time, though, I will say I don't identify with people are like, "Oh, I can't move because my dog or cat sat by me," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm moving." Like, or like if they take my seat, I'm like, "No, no, no. I'm sorry that's warm, but I was sitting there."
The the best tweet I ever wrote was,
I love it already.
I was sitting on, the chair in the living room, and I was reading, and Cookie, that was my first cat, she jumped up onto my lap and curled up, and it was probably, like, 6 o'clock at night, and it was, like, summertime, so I'm reading by the sunlight, and she fell into a very deep sleep, and she didn't move for hours. And so I had to stop reading and I tweeted like, something like cat's been on my lap for 3 hours, just sitting in the dark. I just sat there in the dark because I couldn't reach the lamp. and, and she was just so asleep and I couldn't bring myself to make her move.
That's hilarious. That's a quality tweet right there. There's not a lot of quality tweets, but that's a good one. My husband is similar. I don't know what it is, but he we use separate blankets. This is TMI, but he has a blanket that he really likes, and it's like way too heavy for me. So I have my own different blanket. But his is like very soft and cozy. So my dog always wants to sleep over on his side of the bed and in his like knee crook or whatever you call
Yeah.
that. And he's the light sleeper. And he also has this, stressful solid structured job and I don't. I work for myself and I can kind of, if I don't get a good night's sleep, it's like big whoop, I'll take a nap tomorrow or
Mhm.
something. And so he has less flexibility, but he has the good blanket. But I said, just if she wakes you up by like moving, she'll get up and reposition and then
Mhm.
she'll wake him up. And I'm like, just move her to my side. And he's like, well, I can't move her. Like, she doesn't care, she's just gonna go right back to sleep, like, she's got nothing to do tomorrow either.
That's a good point.
But it's also kinda cute that he's like, "What am I gonna do, just move her? That'd
Yeah.
be ridiculous."
Yeah, I'd be thinking like, "Oh, she's gonna think I've rejected her." That would be my thought, like, "Oh, I can't
This
make her move."
this is like doggy attachment styles or something.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Another thing we have in common
Ooh,
is, that we are both child-free.
that's right.
Yeah, and so
We
it's
have
not
time to
vegan
podcast.
related, but what's that?
We have time to podcast.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. You know what? For some people, it is vegan related. For me, it's not. I don't know if there's any relation for you for like, saving the planet or anything like that. For me, it's all selfish. I'm
Yeah,
just like, I
same.
don't want
Yeah, same. Mhm.
them. And that's okay.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
We are
Yeah.
allowed to make that choice and be
Yeah.
happy about it.
That's right. There's
Yeah.
this really good book. I don't remember the title. It came out a few years ago, I think. Or I've probably been saying a few years for a few years. So it's probably more like 6. But it's all these essays of child-free people about being child-free. And I love the book, but I also felt I would read one and then go, okay, maybe the next one will feel like me, and then
Mm.
maybe the next one, maybe the next one, because everybody was like giving a justification of why they didn't want kids.
Oh,
They were like, I don't have a good relationship with my parents, or I don't want to pass on mental health issues. Like all these things
mm.
are really good reasons,
Yeah.
I but different than mine. And I was like, where's the essay that's just like, I don't really like that. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really want those.
Mhm.
Nothing against yours, but I don't want those in my house.
Yeah.
They're sticky.
Yeah. Gross. Yeah, I think from like when I was little, I loved playing with dolls and I was like totally into all of that and was a-okay with being the mom of the dolls. And then when I adopted Cookie, I had no problem calling myself Cookie's mom. But the idea of being a mom to a human was never in the cards for me. I was like, nope, that's not gonna happen. And like when I met my husband, he had spent his whole life thinking like I'm going to be a dad one day. And so he talked about how he wanted kids. We were friends first, so we had all these conversations without knowing we were impacting each other.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be a dad and I just always knew that I'd be a dad." And I was like, "Nope." And then we joke like, "But
Dream
like there's
killed.
he's
That's me projecting because my husband, if it was just up to him, we would have a kid.
oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure I would do most of the work and I don't want to do any. And I already feel resentful. So that's
Yeah.
probably a good sign.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Please
No,
continue. I
no
want to
worries.
know, how old were you when you met your husband and when you got married?
And
Were
so
you super young or
when I met him, I was 30.
okay?
And we got married, I was 34. And
Oh, okay.
he was 30 when we got married. He's younger than me. So, but like we used to even joke like when we're still friends that like, oh, but we like really have this great connection. And so I would say, well, you go on and get married and have kids, and I'll be your second wife. This way we can
Perfect.
eventually have a relationship. You
Yeah.
don't have to be anybody's mom.
Yeah.
And
Go raise them, and then once they're 18, give me a call.
yeah. Yeah, but it just I was too good to pass up. I had to be wife number 1, and, and we did have a brief moment where and I know now that it was so much of, like, society's expectations on me that I was like, "Well, he would be a good dad." Like, this is how I was justifying, like, "Well, if we had a kid," and then, like, so we're trying and it wasn't working, and we even went as far as to be like, "Why isn't it working?" And, like, going to see doctors to figure out why it's not working, and then we hit a point where we're like, "Oh my god," like people pay 20, 30, $40,000 in order to have a kid, and we were like, "Okay, let's take a step back. We don't want any of this." And when we finally were, like, honest with each other and ourselves, we realized, like, how much of society just expects you to just be a parent,
Yeah,
whether you want to or not. And,
totally.
yeah.
I've been watching, not to brag, but I've been watching a lot of Beach Hunters on
Ooh.
HGTV. And it's all people looking for beach houses. Um, and a lot of them are retired and their kids are maybe teens, early 20s.
Mhm.
And they mention that part of the reason they want this house is to pass it on to their kids and to have when their kids have kids,
Mm.
like to have the grandkids over and have the whole family over and then to pass it on. And then, their kids can use it and all that. And I'm like, what an assumption you're making about your kids.
Mhm.
Like, what if
I
your kids don't
know.
want any kids? Why don't you buy whatever house you like?
Mhm.
It seems like a safer bet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you reminded me of when my husband, so he hates the spotlight, so I'm going to be really vague, but he had a first career, and then he went back to school and was preparing for a second career. And we were talking about, now I feel like I've like made it really intriguing and people are going to Google. He was in the army and then he went back to school. It's nothing. Don't Google him. I'm sorry, Brad. I'm sorry I've done this. Your wife is a comedian and author. I'm sorry. but we were having to do like the first time we'd ever done like long-term planning of like, okay, where are we going to be when we're this old, and where will we be living, and what's the income situation and stuff like that. And I was like trying to work out, when do we have a kid and how do we have a kid, because that's just kind of a given, I think, for most people, at least like our generation. I think it's different now for younger people, and that's very cool. But like for me, at least, it was like, you go to high school, you graduate, you go to college, you get a job, you get married, you have a kid. And then I don't know what's after that, but like, those are the necessary, like the given steps of being an adult. And so I didn't question most of them. And so for a while I just thought like, oh sure, I'll have a kid. I'm going to probably start wanting one at some point, and then I'll have one. But that really never came. Like I would keep pushing it. When we first met, I would be like, yeah, maybe like 26 or 27, like that'd be a good age to have a kid. And then like 24, 25 comes around and I'm like, maybe like 30. Like I just kept kicking it down the road. Like, oh, my hormones that are supposed to kick in haven't yet. So let's just push that. But I found myself like trying to work out the logistics of, when do we have a kid and how does that affect, truthfully, my career, and all this stuff. And then going, wait, why am I trying to work out a thing I don't want to happen? Like, like what's happening here? Like, this feels societal.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. I don't like any of this. I don't want this for myself. And yet I'm trying to figure out like, who takes care of the kid when I'm at work? Like, what? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dogs and cats.
Exactly. Agreed.
So much easier. You don't have to ruin your vacations by going to Disney World.
Yeah. Unless you want to, right?
That's right. Yes.
And then you can go on all the rides you want, and you can eat whatever food you want. You don't have to eat anybody's leftovers because they ordered a $70 plate that then they didn't touch.
Yeah. Having to share your food too is a big reason to not have kids. I don't want to share my food with anyone. And most moms I know share their food with their kids.
Yeah, all the time. Yep. Like, nope, that's mine. Sorry.
Yeah, like I asked you if you wanted one and you said no. So consequences.
Should have thought about that.
That's silly. Can I ask you something out of the blue?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I was listening to, I think it was the Sam Tucker episode of your podcast, because he is my former colleague at Vegan Outreach. And also he's from New Zealand, so I just have to listen to everybody from New Zealand talk.
Yep. I get it.
But on that podcast episode, you mentioned that you were in the Vegan Outreach Mentor Program.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you remember either my name or Jean Bettany, because I launched that program when I first came to Vegan Outreach. That was like my first project. I was like, launch the Vegan Mentor Program. That was like 2014, I think.
Yeah.
And then Jean Bettany is this amazing volunteer. I don't know if she's still doing it, although I imagine she is. She, like, as a volunteer, basically runs the program, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And matches all the, mentors and mentees together and stuff like that. And so I was curious if you recognized either of those names, but if not, that's okay. No pressure.
I don't know. Now, it's funny because now that I think about it, I'm wondering if maybe you and I did email each other at one point.
Yeah, you should look that up.
I'm going to, because I definitely still have it in my email. I remember I had my first mentor, she never contacted me. And then my second mentor, she was great. And she's actually between her and then like a woman that I worked with, like really pushed me, like one comment a woman I worked with made, and it just like pushed me over the edge, but it was really the over the edge, over to the green side. Um, but but yeah, my vegan outreach mentor, Nicole, yeah, she was the one who I was like, she finally was like, come on, let's just do this. And she was right, and I did.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So it works,
That's amazing.
guys. If you're
Yeah,
not a vegan and
it
you're listening to
does.
this, check out Vegan Outreach and get yourself a mentor.
Yeah, get a mentor, even if it's
Mhm.
just someone you know. I mean, you gotta find the right person, kinda like you
Yeah.
have to find the right therapist and all that,
Yeah.
but I remember sometimes the vegan mentors would just be they're just so excited to help, right?
Mhm.
And so they would like what would I think they would send me an email and be like, "Is this good?" Like they were going to introduce. Oh no, I know what it was. They would copy me. Like I would send an email out and be like, "Okay, hey Kimberly, this is Nicole. Meet each other, and now you have each other's email addresses." And so
Mhm.
I would kind of like introduce people, and
Yeah.
then sometimes they would include me on their response. And sometimes the vegan mentors would just be so excited, and they would be like, "Here's everything I know about veganism," like in one email. And so sometimes I would try to kind of coach people like, "Oh, that's so nice, but like maybe kind of take it easy."
Yeah.
Don't want to overwhelm them right away. But yeah, that was what a cool program. I used to
Yeah.
run a mentor program for a college, and so I got to like bring those skills over, but um it's such a cool thing to see um how excited people like no one wants to ask for help because they're like, I don't want to be a bother to anyone, be a
Mhm.
burden.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, no, no. I have so much evidence that people are begging to help you. Like
Yeah.
people are so excited to share their knowledge and like help other people. So it's been
Mhm.
really helpful for me when I need to ask for help. I'm like, oh, I'm totally going
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, that's really true. I think that's another societal thing too, right? That we shouldn't have to ask for help. There's so much of like everybody is kind of supposed to do their own thing and live their own life and not really expect others to take time out of their day to help you with something. But ultimately, I think that's like where human beings really thrive
Yeah.
is connecting and helping one another. But
Yeah.
like our society is like, nope, you make all your money, you get the big house, you get a big car, so you don't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah. Don't talk to you. Don't look at your neighbors. They might want to
Yeah.
talk to you. Yeah. I totally when I was listening to that Sam Tucker episode, I remember this vividly that he was talking about how he leafleted for vegan outreach, and then he was like, "How do I scale this though?" And
Mhm.
then then he turned to like a digital focus, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'm so the opposite." Like I am like, "How do I stop having to do digital relationships with
Yep.
people?" Like, so now I'm trying like I'm relatively new. I've been in Washington state for maybe a year and a half. But it's all like post COVID, right? So I'm like,
Mhm.
how did I used to network and I used to be involved in my community, and how did I do that? And are those things still going on now post COVID?
Right.
Like so I'm trying to figure out how to with all my work, I'm like, how do I make this more one-on-one? Because that's where I
Mhm.
really thrive. And like in person if possible. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I feel so much better this way.
Mhm.
Although if you're measuring effectiveness, Sam wins. Totally.
Yeah. And he continues to keep growing things, right? I don't know if you've been following, but he's got the whole nonprofit piece that he's working on now and getting like funding for all kinds of stuff. And he's just like he's like leading the vegan AI and movement and everything. It's so, so cool.
Yeah, he's one of the people that pops up on my LinkedIn, and I actually read his post. Most of it's garbage. It's like ads everywhere
Mhm.
and message ads, which are so gross. But but Sam's posts are one of the ones that I read, and I'm always just like, I feel a little bit condescending saying this, but he's much younger than me. I think he's like in his maybe he's so young, like for
Yeah.
what he's doing. I don't
Right.
even want to guess because I'm terrible at that, but I just know he's much younger than me. But I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so proud. Like,
Yeah.
like I have no right to be, but like I just feel that way.
Yeah, I get it, 'cause
Really not
I
something.
I feel that way too. Even talking to
Yeah.
him during the podcast, I felt like, "Oh, I wish I had smarter questions to ask him," because I just felt like what he's doing is so important and so big, and I was like, here I am talking about Skynet and like, you
I didn't even
know?
know what that is, so you're ahead of me.
It's from Terminator.
Oh my God, I was like, this is probably a movie reference
Yeah.
because I understand 10% of movie references. I don't it's like I've never seen a movie in my entire life.
Some of them are pretty good, give them a try.
Yeah, I've heard. I heard. I just recently watched Shawshank Redemption for the first time,
Oh, wow.
and I've been thinking about going through like the top, IMDb top whatever, and
Mhm.
just, getting a little more cultured.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I love
tired
a
of
good
not getting
movie.
stuff. I'm tired of not getting references, and I'm also someone who I have an issue with lying, and I can't do it. And so even innocuous things, and so I've, relatively recently just been like, "Yeah, I don't know what that's from," and instead of pretending like I used to,
Yeah. Well,
and
that
I'm
must be
just
very
tired of
freeing.
yeah, I'm tired of never knowing what anything is from.
Yeah, that's gotta be freeing though, to be like, "Look, I don't get it. Like, what is that quote from? I don't know."
It is a little, yeah. I mean, you get a little bit of, "What? You've never seen what?" You get a little lecture,
Yeah.
but not always, and then you get to learn where it's from instead of just being like, "I'll just remember to Google it later somehow."
Yeah. You're probably really doing the people that are talking to you a favor because then they feel like they get to teach you something, and
That's
so then
true,
they
yeah.
feel good about themselves.
Yeah, they feel way cooler because they are.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Lisa, this has been so much fun.
Yes, it
Um,
has.
yeah, but I've got one more question for you.
I wonder what it is.
I wonder. So tell me about your favorite hummus or your favorite way to eat hummus or like how does hummus show up in your life?
That's a great question. I actually, just an aside before I answer, I was looking for an email from you, and this was earlier today. I was just
Mhm.
I wanted to go back through the like be in a quiet room and stuff and make sure I had all my ducks in a row for this phone call. Um, and I just typed in hummus and searched for that. I'm a big time searcher. I will search for everything. So I just typed in hummus because I knew that would be in the email. And emails where I was sending my book manuscript to people came up.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
there must be the word hummus in my book. I
okay.
don't remember writing it, but I must have been describing a sandwich or something. I don't know. But I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
So hummus shows up in my work. But I eat hummus quite a lot, but we just kind of do like the store brand
Mhm.
boring Sabra kind because it's what's most available. But
Yeah.
I do want to shout out a restaurant in St. Louis, which is where I consider myself to be from. That's where my family, they're all in that area. There's a restaurant called Renouche that's in St. Louis that has the best hummus ever.
Mhm.
And I think it's because they use a lot of sumac
Oh, okay.
and the little red stuff on top. Oh, dog sneeze. And
Bless you.
and and yeah, so I like a lot of sumac on top, and
Okay.
I like it heavy on the tahini.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I won't refuse any hummus. I don't discriminate against any kind of
Mhm.
hummus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite way to eat it?
I don't do this often at all, maybe, like, once a year, but there's
Mhm.
this recipe I have saved. I don't even know who to give credit to because I found it online and then I just wrote it down, and
Mhm.
now it's just on a sheet of paper. But there's this lasagna recipe,
Oh,
and it calls for hummus instead of, like, anything else you would use as, like, a filler, like, sometimes you use, like, tofu or whatever. It
yeah.
uses hummus, and it's so good. It's, like, creamy and tangy, and
Huh.
it's amazing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, you've inspired something new in my kitchen.
Yeah. I'll have to try to find it so I can actually share it with people
That
instead
does
of
sound
just,
amazing.
not being helpful at all. But it's so good.
Do you have it memorized now, so you don't need the sheet? That's
No.
what okay.
No, I have nothing memorized in my life.
Goes in, right out.
Yeah, it's I know it's on paper or in a machine.
If you can search for it, it'll be found, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. Make everything highly searchable, and you don't have to store any information in your brain.
That's true. I my husband tells me that I Google like a grandma. Or,
Like, do you write out the whole question?
yes.
Oh, I love that. That's
I do,
amazing.
and it doesn't matter what it is, like, oh, I'm like, if do I have a pain in my foot? Like, why is there a hot pain on the top of my foot? Question mark. Like, that is how I Google.
Dear Google,
Yeah.
sorry to bother you, but I just have a quick question.
Do you
That's
remember
amazing.
Ask Jeeves? I think that's where
Yeah.
it comes from. Or like Alta
Oh, because you had to
Vista.
put in a real question?
Yeah, you could put in a real question. You didn't have to
Yeah.
just do
Yeah,
when I
hot
say Alta Vista, it
pain
makes me think
foot.
of Parks and Rec. What's that?
Wait, what's that reference? I should know this.
Yeah, Parks and Rec, like everybody in right? Is it Parks and Rec? Where everybody uses Alta Vista as their search engine?
I don't
Yeah.
remember that. Oh,
I
I'm gonna have
think
to do another rewatch.
yeah, I'll have to double check that I'm getting that right. If I'm wrong, I'll let you know.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, I don't know if maybe it stems from like when you used to be able to ask Jeeves standing there
Yeah.
holding his little plate, like you can
Right.
ask him a question. But I
Oh, that's
Google like
funny.
that. So
I just had to Google I Google weird stuff. This is like an author thing that we're always like, "Ooh, I hope no one sees my search history." Mostly like, fiction writers have that problem because 'cause they'll
mhm,
be like, "If you murder someone by stabbing, how long does it take before they bleed out?" Like, just
right.
crazy stuff. But for comedy, I'm gonna, be doing a show. Why am I doing it? I don't know, but it's for high schoolers.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I was like, "Oh, I better figure out what they're up to." So I just Googled, "What are high schoolers up to these days?" I was like, "Well, that might be a little problematic sounding, but, I gotta get the answers."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, how else do you Google that? And it's funny
Yeah,
because
what
my
are they doing?
husband, he's much more of an effective Googler, and he literally just uses keywords, and that's what he
Yeah,
tells me. "Kimberly, just put keywords in," and I'm like, "I
make
don't
yourself
know
a day.
how. I have to ask."
Whatever works, whatever
Yeah,
gets you the answers.
exactly.
Did
Well,
you get the hot pain figured out in your foot?
yeah, yeah, I think it's just a little bit of plantar fasciitis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so
Sounds
that
about right.
sucks.
Yeah, that does stink.
Yeah. Lisa, this has been amazing,
Thank you so
and
much. This
and I
has
really
been
do feel
a
like
great
I've just
start
made
to
a
our
good friend.
friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I'll be your guest once a week from now on,
Yeah,
and, yeah.
I love it. Let's do it.
No, thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. I've, been on a few other podcasts, and this is, it's always my favorite when it's really conversational, and it felt really easy with you, and we just kind of had a chat like normal people, and I love to be a normal person.
Me too. It doesn't happen that often, so it feels good when I can do it.
Yeah, especially you have to be like at work and pretending to speak
Mhm.
professionally, and everyone's trying to pretend to be an expert. It's really
Yep.
lovely to just chat with you.
Yeah, same. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome back. I hope you laughed as much listening to this episode as we did while recording it. I also hope you come away with something new, perhaps a new way to observe and respect the non human animals in your home, or even a new way to think about who you're eating. To connect with Lisa, visit her website, onthenosecomms.com. Find her on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Lisa Rimmy, and on TikTok at Lisa Rimmert. I hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring. Please subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you're loving it, please give Did You Bring the Hummus a 5-star rating and leave a review. It's an easy way to keep supporting the show. Be sure to share these episodes with your friends. If you're finding something good here, They will too. If you're a vegan or know a vegan who would be a great fit for the podcast, follow the Be a Guest link in the show notes. Fill out the quiz and I'll be in touch. Get on my mailing list and grab 3 super fun and easy recipes as a thank you. Don't forget, if you love the podcast and would enjoy a shout out from me on a future episode and time to connect with me and other listeners, check out the show notes for the link. And if you're a vegan business who would like to sponsor episodes of Did You Bring the Hummus, I'd love to chat. Find my info in the show notes. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Did You Bring the Hummus, and visit my website, didyouBringTheHummus.com, for more information about me, updates on what I'm working on, new podcast episodes, and all things vegan. Finally, I would love to hear from you. What do you need help with? Is there a topic you want to hear covered on a future episode? DM me on Instagram or send me an email at info@didyouBringTheHummus.com. Thanks for listening.